Welcome to my channel. My name is Matthias. Today we're going to talk about Jonathan Hickman's Shield. It's a very interesting story. For some reason, he split it into 2 volumes. It makes no sense because the first volume is 6 issues long and you finish it and you don't understand anything that's going on. It's just basically everything is a complete chaos. And then the other 6 issues finish off the story. And I sort of feel like we're missing 2 issues because there's a lot of stuff that doesn't get explained here. So instead of doing a summary of the Shield, both volumes, I'm just going to tell you guys what I liked and what I didn't like about this particular story. So without further ado, let's get into this. So as I mentioned in the introduction, there's a lot of stuff that happens in the story that has no explanation, be it situations, certain objects, or people having powers. And when I finished reading the story, I had a ton of questions. I felt like the series was cut short 2 issues where we get the whole explanation of everything, because this story, I feel it really needs it. And it's really weird because Hickman uses a lot of explainer sheets at the end of his stories. So if you didn't understand what the hell was going on during the story, he would explain it to you at the end. On the other hand, the story is very puzzle-like in its nature, and that's pretty normal for Hickman. So every time you go back to reread it, you start picking up on different stuff, and it just really adds to the story and to the enjoyability in general. So what I like most about this story, outside of the founding of the Brotherhood of the Shield, I thought that was really awesome, and how the Brotherhood has always been in the background of Marvel's history, is the introduction of historical figures as characters within the Marvel Universe. And each one of these guys are really awesome. First, we have Leonardo Da Vinci, who's sort of like the Iron Man of the Renaissance, and he's the leader of the good guy faction within the Brotherhood of the Shield because there's 2 warring factions. So I had to re-record this part because I totally screwed up. And I was talking about how Leonardo da Vinci was the creator of the first life model decoy. And that's sort of cool because that adds to the Shield lore in general, because life model decoys are pretty important to the modern day Shield. Then I get into the fact that we also have Nostradamus in the story. He's kidnapped by Sir Isaac Newton. He's the main villain of the story. He's a fascinating villain. And he's the leader of this other faction within the Brotherhood of the Shield that is at war with Leonardo da Vinci. And you can tell that this particular faction is actually going to evolve into Hydra. And this is sort of like a really cool nod to other Hickman series like Secret Warriors, where we discover that at the origins of S.H.I.E.L.D., Hydra has always been a part. And even to Nick Spencer's Captain America run, where we discover that Isaac Newton is the one behind the creation of Hydra Cap. And that's actually adds a lot to that story. And as a villain, he's interesting in the aspect that he's very obsessed with trying to accumulate as much power and knowledge as possible, trying to take over the Brotherhood of the Shield and stay there forever. And he goes to these really insane extremes. Like at one moment when he's younger, he finds this lost deviant city in the middle of the mountains, and he actually becomes part of the society, but he just does this to steal all their magic, all their knowledge, all their alchemy. He even has a relationship with a deviant female. They have a child, and that child is actually going to play a very important role in this story. And Hickman actually establishes in this story that Newton is the creator of the Infinity Formula, the formula that Nick Fury is going to use further down the line to keep him young and in top physical condition. Then we have Howard Stark and Nathaniel Richards in the story. That here's one of the things that really bothered me. Howard Stark has powers here. I had no idea. I actually went on the internet and checked his wiki. He doesn't have powers. He can control machines in this story with no explanation. Then we have Nikola Tesla, who's a fascinating character. And as the story progresses, he becomes more machine than man. But how he got there in the first place, it's never really super well explained, and you don't really understand his motivations. Then we have Michelangelo, who's a fascinating character in this story. He's like the architect to everything that's going to happen. And he has powers. He has crazy quantum powers. He's made out of pure energy. He can travel through time, see into the future, and there's no explanation how he got these powers in the first place.